Hello and welcome to Yorkshire Gamer, and today I am going to start my journey into 28mm Napoleonics. Now, you might think I've done this before, but I haven't. I've never had a 28mm Napoleonic army. I've had a very big 15mm army, which we're going to have a quick look at in a minute, but I've just found myself finding it so difficult to paint 15mm figures at the moment, and rather than struggle through units trying to get stuff done, I've decided, what the hell, let's go for it. Let's do some 28mm Napoleonics. So you're looking at my entire collection at the moment, and I haven't even painted these. These are 4 figures that were lying around in the stuff from my friend Dave's that I picked up when he sadly passed away. So they're going to form the start of my army. So this series of videos, as I go along, it'll be ad hoc. It's just going to be me talking through the build and the painting as we go along of the Napoleonic project that I'm working on. And I thought it would be a good idea just to start off as an introduction, show you how I've planned, what I'm going to do initially, what I've bought so far, and then we can come back on a sporadic basis when I've got something new to talk about. So we'll be back very, very shortly, and we'll look at what I've done before. So there's going to be a little bit of shaky cam on this, I'm afraid, but this is my 15mm, or very much part of my 15mm army. And if we zoom down, we've got some Italian Guard Grenadiers there. This is the Italian Guard from the 4th Corps of 1812. Some very nice Italian artillery from AB Miniatures, and some Garde d'Honneur from the old Battle Honours, as well as some Dragoons and Queen's Dragoons from AB. I think there's some old minifigs there, some old Battle Honours, and come across. So that's how I store my 15mm stuff on trays like that. So shaky cam again in a sec. So here we are at the display cabinets. You've seen what we've got there, so you know roughly the size of it. So we've got a tray there with the Corps Cavalry, big chunk of French infantry, more French infantry, Italians and French, and that's the Provisional Croatian Regiment. Nice colourful unit there. Loads of Italians in there, the Milan National Guard, Italian light infantry, and then down the bottom we've got part of a French cavalry corps. I think they're Baden Chasseurs de Cheval, which is really nice. And then we go up here again. Trays are the same size, I'm not going to pull them all out. So that's 2 trays of British cavalry, and then these are brigade trays for British in the Peninsula, 7th Division, sorry, divisions not brigades, British Light Cavalry, 6th Division, 1st Division, another division, and then there's a division all marked up there, and then loads more French in there. And then if we come across past the 7 Years' War, we've got a big load of Prussians and Russians in there, and also in there. So that's where my Napoleonic collection is at the moment. So you're quite rightly saying I'm a bit daft doing 28mm, and it does break my rule, 1 period, 1 scale. But as I say, I'm struggling to paint 15mm at the moment. So let's have a look what we've planned. So planning wise, I always build to a historical order of battle. I find that way that I'm getting a realistic mix of units, and I can build to a project like with Mentana. I'm building to a specific battle, and that gives me an end goal, and I push on towards that end goal. And then probably, I don't know, it'll end up as a display game in 3 or 4 years' time. So you're kind of in on my thought processes right at the very beginning of a project, which I thought might be interesting to some people. Maybe not. Oh, bedroom's falling apart. So I wanted to do something slightly different to what I've done previously, whereas my 15mm armies are mostly British and French, with Italians in, obviously, it's me. I wanted to do something different, so I'm going to do the orders of battle for the Battle of Plantinois in 1815. Off the beaten track in terms of the normal Napoleon stuff, but it gives me a really nice mix of units. The Prussian army that I've got, I've bought, or it belongs to a friend, and I don't really have any. I can't think of the word. I don't have any feelings towards it because I haven't painted it. So I wanted to do some Prussians. Obviously, I need to do some French. I've always wanted and never had any French Guard, even though people, there was a lad, Sean Wilcox, bless him. He had all the French Guard. And Simon Weinberger, another friend of mine, he had a lot of French Guard as well. So there was no point in me buying any. So I'm going to go for it in 28. So this is, as we've seen here, this is one of the Napoleonic scenario books for General de Brigade. And no reason why you can't use this for General d'Armée. And it lists in here, and I hope you can see that. I'll just zoom in a little bit. It lists in French orders of battle, Prussian forces down there, and then a second page of Prussian forces there. So the French are fairly small. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 battalions of infantry, 16 skirmishers, gun battery, and a small unit of light cavalry. And then, ideally, we've got Young Guard. We've got 8 battalions of Young Guard, a couple of battalions of Old Guard, and some guns in there, a couple of 6-pounder foot batteries. So that's quite a nice little army in itself. And the Prussians, we've got the typical Prussian brigade with a regular infantry unit, a gun battery, 2 units of landwehr, and some skirmishers. And there's 2 of those, and then some reserve cavalry, and then some of Purches. Don't come to me for pronunciation. Another brigade from those there. So that's a really nice setup there. Not a lot of cavalry, but what I have found is I found a blog post, wonderful blog post, and I'll give a shout out. It'll be in the show notes. I don't have it to hand at the moment. And what that chap's done is he's expanded it a little bit further north to include Subevier, the French cavalry, and some more Prussian cavalry. So it puts it into a bigger battle, which is ideally what I want, because I want some cavalry to go with this force. So I'm going to build to that unit, and then who knows, next year is Narvik, the year after that I have got something planned, I can't remember what it is. So we're looking 3 years ahead. I'm thinking I'll probably do Plantinois as a display game. So there we go, this is right at the start. That's the plan. In terms of references for uniforms, I've got loads of stuff lying around, and if you haven't excuse me, if you haven't seen these, this is the Rawkins series, and you can see how well used this is. And when I used to do commission painting, these were my go-to guide for uniforms, and to be honest, they still are. I think they're unsurpassed in their detail. It's just that Mr. Rawkins has just typed it in his bedroom, photocopied and sent it out. But the detail in these is absolutely unbelievable. I don't even know if you can still get hold of them anymore. I hope you can, because they're really, really good. Also, I'm going to do a Napoleon's Irish Legion, purely based on that famous photograph from the first episode of War Games Illustrated, and this is the book in relation to those. Still got a price on, £3.95. Woo! No 40 quid rule book with 6 pages of rules in there, and a bit of £3.95. Everything you need to know about the foreign regiments of French service. No colour photographs, obviously, but there we go. So I'm using old school references, Uniforms of Waterloo. This is my favourite book of all time. You've heard me bang on about this. And there you can see the Library School Service Secondary Loan Stock, 5th of March 1982. It fell into my hands in 1984 and has never left them since. Look at all this here. We've got pictures of my car, and we've got all the army lists at the back. And there we go. underlining units as I painted them. Remember doing that? So, bit of a nostalgia track for me. So let's have a look at the figures I've bought already. So, initial purchase was one of these, which is the French Napoleonic Infantry Battalion box from Perry's, plastic miniatures. Plastic miniatures are going to make this build so much cheaper. 44 figures in here, so if I'm doing a 36 figure unit, I'm going to have 8 figures left over, 6 figures for a skirmish screen, a couple of figures to stick on a command base at some stage. So that's a battalion, 20 quid. I think I could probably get them for 20 quid, which is an absolute bargain. Whereas we're going to look at some metal stuff in a minute, and that was signed at 50 quid a battalion. So you're getting 2.5 of these for every one metallic. So French Napoleonic Infantry, and then I bought one of these for the Prussians and for Prussian Dragoons, and then decided which battle I was going to go, and there's no Prussian Dragoons, but I will have a Prussian Dragoon regiment. So there are 14 figures in here, which isn't a cavalry regiment. Sorry. If I say another 12-figure cavalry regiment, I'm going to go mad. So I'm going to do these as 24s, I think. So I shall buy some metallic Perry's Dragoons to fill that up. So that's those. And then bear with me, I've left the other stuff over the other side of the room. And this is what I tend to do. I tend to stock up and then start painting, rather than just paint one. Because I made my mind up, I'm going to do it, so I'm doing it. So I'll buy all the stuff. Elite Company's French Infantry, looking at those potentially as using as guard figures or other stuff. I'm not made my mind up about that. I just wanted to have a look at what was inside that box and see how I can use it. Then Prussians, I've bought a couple of boxes of Prussian infantry. So these are 46 figures. So Prussians are 32 in the rules that I'm, well, in my world. So they will be a couple of battalions and some spares there. I think some Jaegers in there, so that'll be nice. Then we've got another French battalion there, and then finally I've bought some Warlord games, and me and Warlord games don't particularly get on, but more of that later on, because I'm going to do a review of this box, and as a result of that box, you'll see why people you'll see why people don't send me stuff to review, because I'm honest about it, and there are some big problems with this box set, but more of that in a week or so's time. So that's where I've built up so far, and then I've gone down the metal route, as you might have seen on the monthly War Games updates, with these lovely Elite Miniatures boxes of these come 32 figures with mounted officers, standard bearer, etc. Battalion in a box, basically. And these older sculpts, the Voltigeur and the Tyroleur. Again, you're not paying for this French pronunciation, and it's brilliant. I know. These two were about 50 quid. Those they're fairly old sculpts, and then again bought prior to me deciding what I was going to do. But I've got Fusilier Grenadiers and Fusilier Chasseurs, and these are from the collection range from Peter Elite, and they're just a little bit more expensive. But I'm going to do a full review on these, as I'm going to do on the French Line Lancers in due course. So that's me started. I haven't put paint on a figure yet. I've bought some stuff. I'm going to working through some Italian War stuff at the moment, so I'm probably going to treat myself and paint one of these, because this is going to be a proper old school project. So I want to use some Elite miniatures to go in with the plastic stuff that I'm buying, give me that hit of nostalgia with the big units, and build up to Poinsonoir. So thanks for coming along on this first part of the journey, and hopefully I'll see you very shortly with some painted stuff. Until then, see you later.